The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though and thou and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai. All praises to Yahweh by Shema Shai, Wahara Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that are seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen. Some looking like the heathen. Beginning with the 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. And as we just read in the book of Obadiah, Esau exalt himself as the eagle. So he is proud in his own mind. He think he is that dude. He think he is untouchable. He think he will not be touched. All right? Going into the Isaiah 47. Right? Going into the Isaiah 47. See? But Yahweh Shema Shai said he gonna bring you down to the ground. So real quick, you get Isaiah 47. And 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. Why does it say that? Because Babylon has not been humbled yet. Right? Babylon's about to be spoiled. Babylon's about to be humbled. Okay, with prophecy. Babylon is about to be destroyed in World War III. Okay, the land of America has never lost a war. All right, war hasn't touched the land of America. I'm not talking about Civil War. I'm talking about World War. All right. And World War III is a lake of fire and brimstone, and that's what America is going to be, the lake of fire and brimstone, the destruction. Where it says the Lord, the elements shall melt with fervent heat in the book of Peter, it's talking about America. All right. It says, come down. Whoo, see, come down, meaning what? You got to be on high. Remember, you exalt yourself as the eagle, but I will bring thee down to the ground, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai. Come down and sit in the dust, O daughter, O virgin daughter of Babylon, America. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. The least, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So Yahweh Shai is not going to meet Esau as a man. Why? Because Yahweh Shai is coming back with pure power. Okay? On the chariots, in the spiritual body. All right? He's going to destroy this place, along with the missiles of World War III. All right, it says, as for our Redeemer, right, of Israel, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into the darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. The daughter of the Chaldeans is America. All right, Chaldeans are the elites. For thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms, you see? So this place will no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Right? I mean, it's going to be humbled. It's going to be destroyed. All right? Let's jump down. I'll read through. I was wrought with my people, the Israelites. I have polluted mine inheritance, the land, and giving them into thy hand, thou didst show them no mercy, right? You didn't show us Israelites no mercy, Esau. Upon the ancient hast thou heavily laid thy yoke, bondage, still to this day, oppressed. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Right? Remember, you said you're going to be a lady forever, meaning you're going to never be spoiled. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given the pleasures that dwellest carelessly, America, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else besides me. That's you claiming to be God. You think you God, full of your pride. Think you the Most High. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Meaning you've never been spoiled. Okay? Never been besieged. Never lost at war. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, and one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth, and mischief shall fall upon mischief, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation, destruction shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right? And that's the end game for this place. Hey, got this video. That's the destruction of America right there. It says, where Trump's Golden Dome project stands. Plans for Trump's Golden Dome. This is 1 hour ago, and we brought this up before concerning this Golden Dome. It's not going to save America, man. All right? It's not going to save America. We just read it in the scriptures. You can't save America. It's finished. Ecclesiastes chapter 34 and 23. When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor? See, you just wasting time, man. You wasting money, resources, time. You fooling yourself, man. So you just putting in time just to get destroyed. Right? That's all you doing. We'll play the video. Let's get this. Because y'all really think this Iron Dome is going to save you. I'm sorry, the Golden Dome. I said the Iron Dome. Israel has the Iron Dome. Trash. America is going to build the Golden Dome. Trash. Joel chapter 2. And, man. Let's just start at 1. Blow you the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Shema cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning is spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. It's talking about the missiles. There has not ever been the light, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So this is going to be the worst war and the last war ever. World War III is going to be nuclear. It says, which is only going to destroy America. Okay? Also the land of Israel, but the land of Israel going to be rebuilt up so us Israelites can inhabit our land. But we always got to make sure you know that. All right? America and Israel go hand in hand. All right? They're going to get destroyed. Hey, they buddies together, they're going to get destroyed together. Hell, they brothers anyway. Esau, all of them Edomites. Hey, fire, they're not the real Israelites. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Some of the missiles. The land, America, is as the Garden of Eden before them, right? Because remember, America is looked at as a prosperous land, a prosperous nation, a place of freedom and abundance and happiness and joy. That's what it's known for. The land of opportunity and freedom, right? And behind them, a desolate wilderness, right? So before the missiles hit this place, that's how America's looked like, or looked. That's how America is looked at, right? But after the missiles hit this place, it says what? And behind them, behind the missiles, a desolate wilderness. Why? Because that's how America is going to look once the nuclear missiles hit and destroy this place. We just read in Isaiah 47. It's going to be destroyed. Hey, Isaiah 37, Isaiah 34. We read it in Isaiah 47. I'm sorry, I'm tired. But read Isaiah 34, it goes into the complete destruction. A lot of scriptures, but most definitely Isaiah the 34th chapter. Detailed, very vivid. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. This is the second death, y'all. Oh no, the second death, you can be in hell burning forever. No, there's no such thing. I mean, you can believe on it you want to. Your ass just can get destroyed for believing a false doctrine. All right? If you're an Israelite, it's talking about America. All spirits go back to the Heavenly Father, man. It is a spirit world. Y'all do know that, don't you? It is a heaven where the Heavenly Father and Yahweh and the angels are. All spirits are there. There is no hell underground. Satan is in heaven. His angels, who are our brothers, they are in heaven. All right? In the spirit world, ain't nobody in the hell burning where it's hot. Come on, man. It says, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. You see? Nothing is going to escape the missiles over here in Babylon. It's all going to be destroyed. As a matter of fact, real quick, when you get Isaiah 34, I wasn't going to go to it. When you get Isaiah 34, it says, let's start at verse 8. Start at the top of the chapter, but I'm going to start at 8. For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai's vengeance and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Right, for what they did to Israel. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch. It's talking about America. America being destroyed. And the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. You see, the land shall be as dust and brimstone. Okay, the land, not the earth, the land. This is a landmass. It's America. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. Just means a long time. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. Right, just like the Sodom and Gomorrah. What's the Isaiah 1 or Isaiah 2? I think it's Isaiah the first chapter. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Saying the same thing Isaiah 13 and 14. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. Hold on, wait a minute. It just said none shall pass through it forever. It just said the smoke is going to burn forever, and the smoke thereof shall go up forever from generation to generation. All right, and it shall lie waste. So wait a minute. Now verse 11 is saying, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, and the owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion. Meaning, it's not going to be North Carolina, Virginia. You're not going to be able to tell no state from another state or city from another city. It's just going to be one big pile of dust. All right? And the stones of emptiness. Everything destroyed here. So, but you got to analyze this scripture, man. Right? So if it's going to burn forever, how is it that desert creatures, birds and buzzards and creatures of that nation is going to be here if it's burning? That means it's going to clear out in due time, just like Sodom and Gomorrah did. It's a memorial for what happens when you dwell in wickedness. And it's just an example concerning how America is going to be. At the book of Jude. That's all. It's not going to burn forever. See, that's why we constantly tell y'all, like, there's no place called hell, man. All right? where you burn forever. It's talking about America when the nuclear missiles hit. All right? It says, they shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. Right? Because no one is going to be ruling here or living here. All right? There's not going to be any elites coming up out of the bunkers to try to use America to push forth their agenda anymore. No, no one's going to be here but animals. And the thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortress thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons, and a court for owls, you see. The wild beasts of the desert also shall meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow, and the screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. You see? There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. You see? So this is what the book of Joel is talking about when the missiles hit. All right? The book of Joel chapter 2 and 3, the last part. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. You see? So you probably ask, well, if the whole land gonna be destroyed, how the animals gonna be there? Obviously, birds fly. Notice every creature that is named flies. All right, so birds fly from place to place. So obviously these desert creatures are gonna fly here. We think they can just damn form out the ground? And I'm talking I'm not talking to the hopeful elect. Hopeful elect know what it is. Like they're gonna just materialize here. No, they're gonna fly from Central South America and wherever and come here after the smoke is clear. All right, and they're gonna inhabit this desert land, but not people. All right, and these creatures are gonna inhabit America, this desert land, after it's destroyed and cleared out, after the burning has stopped and the smoke has cleared out. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance, because you go into the flood, remember, the sea creatures, the water life didn't get onto the ark. It wasn't no need. All right? They live in the water. You can't drown a fish or a shark or sea creatures. So when Yahweh Shemashah burn up America and everything in it, well, being that birds have wings, they're going to fly here to inhabit the land when it's all cleared out. You see? It says, verse 4, the appearance of them, the missiles, is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Right there, Revelation 9. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. The missiles like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble, as a strong people set about array. So these missiles are going to come in army formation, man. All right, are going to be shot. All right, before the face of people shall be in much pain, all faces shall gather blackness, right? So when the people see the missile, they're like, oh, shit, it's over. It's over. They shall run like mighty men, not the people, but the missiles. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another, so the missiles are not going to hit each other. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. And the missiles falling upon the sword is this defense system America is setting up, the Golden Dome. They shall not be wounded. You cannot destroy the nuclear missiles. You setting up the Golden Dome for nothing. All right, for nothing. All right, you laboring for nothing. You building, but Yahweh Shemashah is going to tear down. They shall run to and fro in the city. The missiles, once the missiles hit, the flames going to engulf the whole landmass, man. North America. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. And that's that blast. All right, gonna blow every damn thing to pieces. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Right, all that smoke. And the Lord Yahweh Shema shall utter his voice before his army, which is the missiles. Isaiah 13, Jeremiah 50 and 51. For his camp, the missiles, is very great, for he is strong to execute his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Shema is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? Nobody. Remember, what did it just say in verse 4? Verse 3 at the end? Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. 2/3 of Israel, your ass gonna get destroyed in America. All you heathen that's here, your ass gonna get destroyed in America. Everything that's here is gonna get destroyed in America. The animals, destroyed. Your cars, destroyed. The elements gonna melt with fervent heat. The golden dome is a waste of time, a waste of resources. But shit, they're your resources. You just wasting them. All right, that's all. You just wasting your resources and time with your proud ass. Plans for Trump's golden dome. See, we reading to you by way of the Holy Spirit your fate, your destruction, and everybody that want to join hand in hand. Excuse me. And 2/3 of Israel that want to join hand in hand with America, because salvation is only for Israel, and you heathen ain't got a damn chance. But since 2/3 of Israel want to hold on to this place and want to save your oppressor, well, your ass gonna get destroyed with them. I pray I'm part of the elect. And those who take the mark of the beast, your ass will get destroyed too. I pray I don't take it. Please, Yahweh Shema Shah, don't let me take it. None of us is going hard for Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Where Trump's Golden Dome project stands. In the damn trash. Let's let it ride, man. I'm talking enough.
We have a lot to cover tonight. We're going to start by talking with our friend Hal Kempfer. He's a national security analyst, retired Marine intelligence officer, and the host of the Strat podcast. Hal and I want to talk about the Gaza war, the Russia-Ukraine war. But first, I want to talk about something that The Economist has been writing about lately, Hal. Specifically, the Golden Dome. We're looking at file footage, if you will, of random missiles being fired and defense systems at work. We don't really have any visual representation of what the actual Golden Dome itself might look like. I want to make that clear. For anybody who's curious what the Golden Dome is, by the way, it's a proposed U.S. defense system intended to protect the homeland from missile threats of all kinds. The U.S. wants the Golden Dome to operate in space. It'll be maintained in Earth's orbit. Basically, you could think of it as something similar to Israel's Iron Dome, except on a larger scale. The Economist has been writing this week that it has some major questions about the project's cost, feasibility, timeline, and strategic implications. Hal, let's start with explaining why a Golden Dome is necessary. What will it be able to do that isn't possible today?
Well, what a Golden Dome does is really change our strategy, if you will. What it changes is, right now, we still operate under a broader concept called mutually assured destruction. It's been around, well, since the 60s or 70s, if you want to go back that far. The idea is if there is a launch by, back at that time, the Soviet Union and the U.S., that the thing that would hold us all back is that one would launch and both sides would get wiped out. And we have a triad system of ICBMs, ground-launched missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and then, of course, bombers that would deliver nuclear weapons. And all of these things would provide a counterweight, if you will, to a potential Soviet launch at that time. Now we have Russia, but we also have China is building up its inventory. Still not up there close to parity with the U.S. or Russia, but they are increasing fast. And then we have North Korea kind of throwing a monkey wrench in the whole thing because it's a very, it has a very unstable kind of rogue regime, and we're not quite sure about what they would or would not do. So the Golden Dome would change this math by putting up a defensive shield, kind of like the Iron Dome over Israel. The challenge for the U.S. is we're a heck of a lot bigger than Israel. We encompass, when you look at our air defense requirements, we encompass pretty much North America, or most of North America, and it's not quite clear how this dome would work. In Israel, it's a very small geographical space, and their Iron Dome is mostly towards protecting, Israel, but also Israeli population centers, major critical infrastructure like the David Ben Gurion Airport, and some other things. And even then, we have seen missiles, particularly from the Houthis, occasionally sneak in through that dome, if you will. So it's really not clear what this is. And then the space-based system, if you talk about doing stuff from space versus the ground, that's been talked about. I mean, that goes back to the Reagan-era Star Wars concept. But to do something like that, we would have to put a tremendous amount of low Earth orbit satellites, and if they're low Earth orbit, it's a tremendous amount because then they're orbiting faster than the rotation of the Earth. They're not fixed in space. They're having to move very quickly around the Earth, orbiting very quickly in order to maintain enough of those satellites over North America to provide that shield. And then the fear is, well, would this open up a new era of anti-satellite attacks or anti-satellite capabilities in space? We're already seeing problems with that. In fact, the Chinese have three astronauts stuck on their space station because their capsule to come home got hit with space debris, and it's caused damage. So there's a lot of concerns that go into this, and that's kind of what the Economist article was pointing to, is the technology. We're not sure exactly how this would work. And then there's other things where, you aim for space, but then you got, we look at ICBMs or large high trajectory ballistic missiles, but then we have a plethora of cruise missiles. The Russians just took an old Soviet design and did a nuclear powered cruise missile. So the fear is that if we develop a system to go against what's out there today, that there could be a leapfrog in technology that can make this a white elephant system, a very expensive white elephant system.
Yeah, this is an ambitious project. The Economist describes it like this. They say it'll likely involve building interceptors in space or near space. It'll involve tracking hypersonic threats and integrating all of this into a seamless shield. Is it fair to ask whether such a system is actually feasible? How the U.S. does have a reputation of pushing boundaries and figuring things out.
We do, and I actually think this is feasible, that they could do something like this. It's going to be a phenomenal cost. The $25 billion has already been allocated by Congress for this already, although we have a bit of a budget impasse right now. The cost projection that's put out is $175 billion, but there are estimates I've seen that are like 2 to 3 times that high. It could be over $500 billion or more. Of course, it's a very ambitious project, but when you look at cruise missiles, you look at long-range drones, you look at various submarine launched ballistic missiles and other things, and then also keep in mind that the intercept time frame could be very short. If there's a submarine launching cruise missiles right off our shore, those missiles are flying very low. They're right off our shore, so they could be coming in and hitting within minutes of a major urban center, and that cuts our response time way down. So instead of that classic scenario where we have 18 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever to look at a launch from overseas, we could be looking at something where by the time we detect it, that nuclear warhead is almost over one of our major urban areas. And of course it's a tracking it, hitting it, all of these things are very, very difficult technical solutions, and so there's a lot of concern that we're kind of rushing into this thing, but we haven't figured out all these concepts. And some of the concepts we're talking about, for example,
cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft buttery sourdough. And our
figured out all these concepts. And some of the concepts we're talking about, for example, some of these energy based beam systems, laser systems have been talked about as well. These things have not really been fully developed. So some of the concepts in there are cutting edge science that isn't really done yet.
If we build a golden dome, does that mean that adversaries are going to have to build countermeasures, counter space measures, perhaps?
That is the fear, and that's what The Economist kind of brings out, which is we could have a new arms race, if you will, kind of like in the 70s, 60s, where we're building arms as quickly as possible, and basically what's happening is because of our dome system, if it's reliant on satellites, our opponents simply go towards a heavy anti-satellite program, which threatens not only the defensive system, but every satellite that we have up there. And of course, if it's employed, then the problem is you could literally just, and this has been talked about a lot, clutter the orbit of the Earth with a bunch of space debris, making it very difficult, if not impossible, to put anything up there again without it getting hit with space debris. And keep in mind that sometimes this debris is moving around the planet at very fast speed, 16,000 miles an hour. A little piece of debris hitting a spaceship at that speed with that much kinetic energy can cause a lot of damage. So there's a lot of concerns about where this is going, and are we maybe getting ahead of ourselves? And it changes the whole dynamic of the strategic deterrence package that we have globally.
Elon Musk is kind of getting worked into this conversation, and SpaceX, to be more specific, is getting worked into this conversation because about a week ago, the Wall Street Journal said that Musk's SpaceX is set to win a $2 billion Pentagon satellite deal. Is it still unclear who would build the Golden Dome, Hal? And is Elon Musk and SpaceX a prime candidate to do it?
Austin, SpaceX has tremendous capabilities, and I can't see any way that they would not be a prime candidate for parts of this program. If nothing else, the lift capability that they bring to put that many satellites up in space. And you have to remember, they have done things with satellites, using strings of satellites in space that nobody else had done before. And so they have tremendous capabilities to do all sorts of things that other firms just simply cannot provide. But with that said, one of the things that's been talked about with Golden Dome is there's going to be new entrants, if you will. I don't want to say necessarily startups per se, but new companies that are not your traditional major defense contractors. There are going to be new companies. And I look at companies like Anduril, that's developing all sorts of drone systems, particularly for sea, maritime usage, and they bring a whole different way of looking at this, and I see that definitely being something that might be incorporated into this. This thing may start out one direction, and because of the rapid shifts in technology, and particularly with artificial intelligence, it may actually take a pivot or a turn or a signal, I should say, direction change halfway through, and that's because the technology and the threat picture will change so dramatically in the years hence.
Hal and I have a lot to discuss tonight, including the latest on the Russia-Ukraine war. That's something we're going to discuss in about 2 minutes. First, we have to take a commercial break. Hal and I will be right back in a moment.
There you have it. Waste of time. He's even telling you it's a waste of time. And so it might change direction. This is the direction. The nuclear missiles are going to come from Russia, their allies, as I like to call Putin in the game, and NATO. And them ICBM missiles are going to come from the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere and destroy this place. Shalom.